Doing a review on a fragrance from Swiss Arabia, and basically this is the fragrance Shumoukh Al Ghutra, the EDP. Basically, this fragrance I purchased a couple of months back. I haven't actually seen any reviews on YouTube or any online reviews on this one to kind of give a an idea of how it smells and things of that nature. So it was a blind buy, but it was based off a couple of other Swiss Arabian fragrances that I purchased from Swiss Arabia, and I figured, hey, why not, try this one out. So basically, the item comes in this Swiss Arabian box that has some Arabic writing on it. I'm not sure what it says, but it has that on it. When you open it up, you see the actual fragrance, and there's also some other Arabic writing here along the box edge. The bottle is red, so there is a Alto Al Ghutra that there was a review on, and they said it smells similar to I believe Tuscan leather. So I haven't smelled. Well, I have smelled a sample of that. I have smelled a sample of that, and it's similar but not the same. Now this one right here, I'll take this one out and kind of see how it looks. So it's very similar bottle, makeup, just red, regular top. I already sprayed some, so I don't need to spray anymore. So this one right here, to me, it's a very interesting one. Definitely has a lot of leather notes to it. I'll break into the notes, so we just get like a note breakdown, and I'll tell you how it reacts to me. So the top notes is galbanum, apple, violet. Middle notes are leather, cedarwood. Base notes are vanilla and musk. So just by me reading those notes, I already knew when I would get this, I would pretty much kind of like it. Probably the only note that is kind of cloying to me from my nose, to me, is the apple. I'm not a big fan of like the apple note in fragrances, but this one does stand out with the apple. It's not a bad smell. When I first smell it, the first thing I think of, and this is in a good way, is new car smell. That new leather smell. So not necessarily the plasticky kind of new car smell, but that leathery new car smell, almost like those little trees that you can put in your car, and it has that leather new car smell. I know that sounds weird, but there's certain fragrances you can smell that either come on, might not be an actual fragrance itself, but something that you might spray in your car, or some kind of freshener that you're like, man, that'd be nice if that was actually a body fragrance. That smells pretty good. That's what I pick up, that kind of leathery new car smell. It has definitely that leather that really stands out. The galbanum is there as well. The cedarwood, it's in the background, but it's not as potent to me when I pick up. I believe the musk and leather kind of play a role in there as well. There is the musk and vanilla, because there is a kind of a vanilla kind of smell to it, but like the vanilla is kind of like almost to me like a syrupy kind of vanilla. The violet, honestly, I can't say if I smell it or not, because I don't really wear a lot of fragrances that have violet in them. So the violet, I don't know if I'm picking that up. Definitely that apple is definitely it wears it. Like you can smell it. Very, very, very strong fragrance. I mean, this thing lasts forever, and I'm not into that whole everything's beast mode and this and that. But I can definitely say, you spray this on you, 8 o'clock that day, you're definitely gonna smell it. By 10 o'clock that night. It's a really, really potent fragrance. Not sure if I got any compliments from this one yet. that I can recall. But there's certain people that may not make a compliment, but you can kind of pick up how they're sniffing around you, that there might be something about your fragrance that is causing them to smell, try to sniff more. It's not like they're sneezing or nothing like that, so it's not too strong. But I'll definitely say this is longevity wise, it's good. I'm not gonna say it's a compliment getter, because like I said, I've never had someone come up to me and say, oh, this is great. I like the way it smells on me. You kind of have to me, wait a couple of hours, maybe like probably 3 to 4 hours to let it really like resonate in your skin, because it is one of those ones that can become cloying if you spray too much. But when it dries down, that's when you really get to enjoy like the elegance of the fragrance. Like I said, it's not a bad fragrance. It smells good. You just kind of have to let all the notes really meld into the skin, or meld in the skin, and really kind of work together. Instead of like seeing you smell one portion of the fragrance and it's kind of like strong, and you're like, oh man, how long is this gonna last? It's one of those ones where you have to kind of let it all just work its way through, and that might take a couple of hours. But it's definitely one of those fragrances that longevity is not a problem with this one. The notes smell really, they smell really polished as it starts to dry down. Definitely the leather plays a role all the way through. I think that cedar probably comes near the end with that musk. That cedar wood and the musk kind of, to me, plays it at the end, because it gets more of that lighter aromatic quality at the very end, after hours of wearing it. So I would definitely say it's a nice one, and I would probably say it's a night one. And maybe I wouldn't even wear this in the hot climate, because it does become like very, very cloying. I always say, with like a lot of the fragrances that become cloying, just spray it in the back of your neck. Don't even spray it on your chest. Don't spray it on your neck. Just spray it in the back of your neck, not the side, not the front. Because that way you can kind of stop all that cloyiness. Because sometimes that stuff can become very nauseating, depending on how strong the fragrance is. So definitely spray to the back of the neck. You'll be good. You'll be set. I wouldn't even spray more than 2 sprays. One to the back of the neck, maybe one to your stomach if you want to, just if you want to get that kind of waft when you're moving around. But like I said, all in all, I think it's a great scent. I'm not a big fan of that apple. That's just me. And I think Euros had apple in it. I believe Euros has apple in it. I'm not too sure. But I think Versace Euros had apple in it. And that was probably one of the main things that I did not like about Versace Euros. So if you're not a real apple fan, maybe you might want to try a sample of this first, because like I said, the apple does stand out at first. And like I said, it's like a weird, like somewhat powdery apple. So that's probably the only thing I wouldn't really care too much for, is that green apple. Now, although this doesn't really smell like Euros to me, it's I would probably wear this over Euros, night or day. But yeah, before I start rambling, so that's my review on Shumoukh Al Ghutra by Swiss Arabia. And leave comments, subscribe, follow me, all that stuff. All right, see you later.